we have a one common mission for the AI-driven enterprise, and that for us to have every single device from the Juniper portfolio to be able to talk and leverage the AI engine. We started with the wireless. We now have the wired as well as the WAN. Putting all of these things together alongside security being a full forefront for us is our core mission, for us to go from the client being able to reach the cloud with underlying security in place. The AI-driven enterprise version 4.0. And the reason why we say 4.0, we've had this from day one as a focus for us, with user experience being the forefront of it. We've brought about wireless experiences since 2015, being how a client should be able to connect to the network, as well as what is the experience after it connects to the network. Now we're bringing the exact same experience across all the tenants in the AI-driven enterprise, be it wired, wireless, security, as well as WAN. What you get out of all of this is because you have a very agile cloud that we have. It is resilient, it scales, and we bring AI to across all platforms that Juniper has to offer. We've been talking about the client to cloud since 2016. 2016, we said we always need good data to make good AI decisions, and that's where we started off with our story of us being able to get the insights from every single access point that we started off. Now, come 2019, we brought about service levels as well as virtual network assistant into our portfolio, being able to address questions in a natural language process. And now we've brought about the self-driving aspect to the enterprise. And this is where our focus will continue with our version 4.0. Marvis's journey has always been an important one for us. As Bob Friday says, good grapes make good wine. And it's exactly what we need to make great AI decisions. It's good data. We collected data in the form of insights, and then we've moved the timeline in the form of AI primitives to get SLEs, the service level expectations. We utilize this to understand anomalies in our 3.0 of anomaly detection. We then brought it about to virtual network assistant. We gave it a front face to say, hey, this is Marvis, ask questions, we'll be able to answer questions for you. Now, as a network administrator, you can actually utilize the Marvis action framework to bring in the self-driving abilities to us, be it, understanding bad cables, being missing VLANs, even the health of an AP to tell you it's time to upgrade. All of that very well listed and available for you as a part of the self-driving journey. We spoke about our journey of collecting data for us to make really, really good AI decisions. Now, how can we utilize this information, and what can we bring about as an answer to some of the most important questions? In this world of majority of the applications going to the cloud, we have many touch points for your client to reach the cloud. Be it your wireless LAN, be it your access point where you connect to, be it the place where the access points connect to, which are your switches, which then eventually connect to your firewall and an SD-WAN infrastructure. Now, what we have done is we are able to gather information from all of these different touch points, be it the MIST AP, your EX switches, your SRXs, all the way until your client is able to reach the cloud for this application. We now have information from Juniper SRX flow. We have the client information in the form of Marvis. We have access point information from MIST APs, Juniper EXs, as well as WAN information from the SRX. When a question pops up to say, why is your client experience bad? There are many points of failure, billions of vertices and edges in a distributed database to track the end-to-end topology for us to give us each client experience. And that is important for us to be able to answer the question, where did it fail? Was it bad coverage? Was it your latency in the application server? It could be as well as a broadcast DOM on your switching network. All of these can actually become a point where your application suffers. And we are able to bring that about in a common single answer in a conversational interface format. So the event action framework is the answer for all of that. For us to be able to give you two important pieces. We take in the application. We have application-related events that are coming in. The application, the client, the access point, the switch, the WAN infrastructure. We're getting inputs and data from every single point from here. The events could be as simple as pre-connection issues, post-connection issues, the switch issues, the cable issues, your gateway health. All of these in combination can affect your application. How are we going to answer that question for you is very important. There are two ways that we are going on this journey. proactively, we are able to give you self-driving actions, being a RRM, being able to help you upgrade your APs, automatic RMAs for you. All of this is proactive from our perspective. Reactive, we still have a virtual network assistant being able to give you a simple, seamless way for us to say where is the problem by using the conversational interface, as well as our virtual network assistant for you to answer those questions about why is your application not having a good experience. Having said that, I'll pass this on to Sujit, who's going to introduce us to the AI-driven enterprise solution and take us further from here on.
Thank you, Abhi. So Abhi talked about our journey till now on the AI-driven, but at the same time, what does this solution consist of? What is our AI-driven enterprise solution? It starts all with our cloud, our MES cloud, which has the two important components, the artificial intelligence component and the microservices component. Microservices component is very key. This is what makes our cloud unique. As a result, we can run several services on the cloud. One service, for example, for Wi-Fi assurance, wired assurance, WAN assurance, and that gives us the agility where we can add few new features, functionality without taking the cloud down. So as a result, we keep on adding new features, functionality every 2 weeks. So that's what we have as the cloud service. But as far as our equipments or devices concerned, we have a wide range of these access points, as you can see, starting with the AP12. It's our latest and greatest access point, which is designed for a hospitality industry or dormitories or hotel rooms. Then we have our AP32 and our flagship product of AP43, which is our Wi-Fi 6 11AX access points. Then we have our wired infrastructure. We have all our EX switches, starting with the EX2300, 3400s, the 4300s, and the 4600s are part of this AI-driven enterprise solution. And finally, we have our SRX gateways. Our SRX platforms also can be part of this AI-driven enterprise solution to give you all those WAN insights. We will talk about that in detail in next couple of sections. So I'm going to talk about what we mean by wired assurance with our Juniper EX switches. So the Juniper EX switches are now part of this AI-driven enterprise. And as a result, we are divided this whole journey into 3 areas of day 0, day 1, and day 2. Day 0 is where we are talking about how we can onboard our switches, how we can onboard our new switches, as well as our existing switches, which our customers might be having. We call them the brownfield switches or the greenfield switches. Then once the switches are onboarded, how can we push configurations at a day 1 level? We have the options of creating templates. And as a part of this template, we added a very important functionality called color and colorless ports. What it does, it assigns some characteristics to the ports on the switches itself. And finally, day 2. As Abhi talked about earlier, wired service level expectations, or SLEs, are very important for day 2 operations. We'll show you in a live demo on how we are getting these SLEs from our devices, let it be wireless, wired, or your WAN network. And then finally, we have our industry differentiator of Marvis Virtual Network Assistant, where we will be able to run our AI engine and take those Marvis actions into place, where we talk about missing VLANs, missing misconfigured ports, as well as some bad network cables, which is very difficult to detect otherwise if you are running a large network, including thousands of switches and thousands of ports in